But I was just reminded that I have to ask for money because we need money to keep this thing going, and we need independent analysis during election campaigns. So please donate. Catherine Swift is with me right now, and we were talking about the election campaign. We're talking about Canada. Trump speaks for the United States, no question about it. It seems that Canada, there's been a gap because of Trudeau, and now we have Carney coming into it, but we have all these premiers. Some people would say, who's speaking for Canada? Mr. Ford is going down there saying, and he's close to Trump, I think, in the sense that, they're like each other, but is that a problem for Canada?
Yeah, I think it's a big problem for Canada.
Having so many people
you're not getting a consistent message, for starters, right? You've got a lot, and you've got different approaches. And the whole, I guess Ford got smacked a bit when he was going to impose those tariffs on electricity exports, which was a bit of a phony issue. I don't think Ford understands how the whole electricity grid and everything works. But anyway, and then of course Trump came back with, we're going to crank up, we're going to double our tariffs.
Beat each other up.
And so Ford backed off. But I can't see this as being a productive. We're never going to win a trade war in Canada. We're never, and I know it's angered an awful lot of Canadians. But you would think a more constructive approach than this fighting, this pissing contest, which is basically what it's become between Ford and the Trump administration. And of course, the Feds have abdicated right now, and we're going to be into an election, presumably very soon, and it's going to be even worse. Everybody's just going to be focused on the election.
Absolutely, but what the election issue could be about who stands for Canada and how you deal with that in Canada.
No question.
But I interviewed Brendan Caldwell, a businessman in Toronto, who said, you know what? We aren't going to be able to win if we have a tariff and we've smacked back with another tariff. We should just build Canada
and
forget it and get markets somewhere else.
I agree. Now, that being said, and no question we should diversify, but the U.S., let's not fool ourselves, the U.S. is always going to be our major trading partner.
And, who else is going to buy all that potash?
Well, not just that. Actually, there's some markets for that. But just the proximity, we speak the same language, and we're so integrated already as an economy. So it's a great idea to diversify, but don't fool yourself. You're going to replace the U.S. role with our trade by Europe or Asia or whatever it happens to be.
So what's the outlook for Canada? To diversify Pacific markets?
Well, I agree with that gentleman you cited, that we have to strengthen Canada, and this is what we need to do now. We need to get our taxes in order. We need to get away from this whole climate obsession we've got, which has beggared our economy and other economy. The U.S. isn't touching that. This is all making us uncompetitive. So once we're a competitive economy, the world's our oyster. We can basically take advantage of anything. And I think this approach that Ford has taken of knocking heads, maybe he feels thumping his chest, feels good in the short term. I don't think it's a very good long-term solution.
So you're saying, are you, that the cabinet of Trudeau, which is the cabinet of Carney, which supported those programs for 9 years, may not be the best cabinet to have to change Canada?
Well, I can't see Carney getting off his climate obsession. That's the real problem.
That is the problem. My problem is I'm out of town, Catherine. out of time. Catherine Smith, thank you. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.